Check out how quiet it is. You can almost hear the silence. It's like a, oh, hear that? Whoa. Right on cue. Just about dead silent. That's my fire, and that was an object flying as I hit record. You can hear the fire, but back up so you can. A little further away from the fire, so all you can hear is, well, there's like a dog in the distance, but now you can't hear really anything. There's like a canine sound. It's the sky. I don't know if you can see it. No. It's so quiet. Wow. I'm capturing this because it's not very often it's this quiet. Usually I can hear something, birds, crickets. You probably thought that I muted it. It's like a little lightning bug by the fire there, it looked like. Now, back by the fire. So peaceful. So, back on another hike. Anyone that watches me and knows me knows that I'm very excited. I love these hikes. I just like to go out and explore and see what I find. And if all that I do is hike out in nature and film some stuff, that's fine with me. Yeah, so it's a beautiful day. It's about 75. And yeah, we'll see what we find here today. Kind of got a ridge I'm sort of on the top of a ridge here, so that's always cool. You can see down on both sides. I Actually just walked over a tree that was across the path. Nice break right there. Center screen there. There's one there too. That's the tree that's across the path. Very cool. Just a little ways down, there's a bit of an archy looking tree there. Sort of a structure. Hard to see because it's got a bunch of leaves. Pretty cool though. Kind of archy looking back through there too. Broken limb right there. Pretty crazy broken tree. It's like broken off 10 feet up. Over a foot wide, I'd say. Wow. Saw these right off the path. Look at that. Look at that. That is so cool. It's another one of those double breaks. And then this one here. Wow. That's a beauty right there. Two trees broke the same exact direction, almost the same exact height. It kind of goes down there, like I'm on top of that ridge. Some other sticks that are kind of up top of that, those two breaks too. Archy tree right through there in the center. Love that. Man, what a nice day. Pretty little butterflies here. I want to see if I can get closer. Look at them. What's up, guys? Wow, you guys are beautiful. All right, so just walking along, having a look. As I go. Look at that huge hanging branch. What is holding that up? See that? Yeah. How's that? Wow. That's interesting. It's like it's just hanging there. Pretty thick here. Structure in there, that's for sure. Just a little further up, same direction. It's very structury through there. Very cool. Lots going on. It's a little thick, so I don't really want to go in there. Be cool in the winter, you could see a lot of that. Pretty cool. That looks like a structure. Look at that. How they all intersect right there. Interesting break there. Piece is still connected by a thread, it looks like, and just still hanging up there. Pretty cool. Oh, there it went. I was gonna try to get that butterfly. It just took off. Kind of open over there. This big tree that's just kind of propped up. And then I turn this way, and there's sort of like a teepee-ish, like 3 trees there, kind of all together. And then this is kind of neat. There's like 2 that are sort of, I think it looks like 2 anyways, like that, kind of leaning together. This is downhill right here. So I'm on a little bit of a creek bed. So cool. A bit dried up, still a bit moist. Nice little view down here. Some nice high vantage points up there. Just kind of looking at these. See those trees? Gonna have a peek at that. And of course, I'm looking for impressions. Sounds of nature. That's pretty steep there. It's a big, huge, like, broken tree through there with a bunch of stuff. Look at that. The way it's broken and then it just snakes. Wow. What do you think that was? Lightning? Or something else? Someone else? It kind of goes down here. Slightly closer look at that. From a distance I saw that and had to come take a look. But here's the other parts. Look at that. Wow. There's a couple old ones there that are just like crisscrossed. And there's back where I was looking at it originally. Center screen, there's an interesting broken limb up there. See going up the tree there, above it. Looks like it, I don't know, broke above and fell down or something. So center screen, that's that big broken tree. That's where I just was, and from over there, I noticed this. Looks pretty neat. It's kind of open down here. And sort of a creek between a couple of ridges. It's back that way. On this hike, there's a little bit of a pond right through there. Kind of in the opening where the pond is. It's kind of like a little reward for my hike. I feel like it's kind of interesting looking there, all that stuff going on. Even up there. Huh. Yeah, that's cool though right there. Looks like it's been there a while with all the vines or whatever growing on it. Look at that beauty. It's like an entrance. Sort of like a trail. Look at that. Gorgeous. Whole bunch of stuff through there. You can see a fallen tree or two and whatever else. But I'm inclined to take a peek through this seeming doorway. Wow, that's all wide open here. There it is from the back. Wow. And it's just open here. two knocks or maybe a woodpecker. I don't know if you could hear that. I could see them having an amazing time. The pond is that way, where you can see it's lit up. This amazing arch. Love that. Side of the tree and stuff. With the pond that way. Looks pretty cool with the sun shining through it. The ground is a bit soft, so I'm looking, of course, like that right there. Is what I could see through the brush. What do you think? Is that just a couple nice storm? Wow, a lot of tree entanglement. See if I can kind of make my way through this way and just kind of look at it as we go by. I'm right near that arch that I just saw. So it looks like it kind of opens up here, so I can have a, oh wow. Right here, oh, two arches. Wow. Look at that. Wow. See the one there? And this one here. Little one, and so this way is all this stuff. Wow. Kind of looks like just one tree. Huh. Wow. That is something. It's a big tree. That would have been a heck of a noise to hear. So with that big tree in the background, here's these two beauties. This arch right here. And then right over here is that one with the older tree kind of through the Y, and that little one center screen. And then we have that. I would say this is pretty squatchy, as they say right here. Look at that. Looks like a really heavily, I wonder if that's like a regular hiking trail there. It's really worn. There's that going up there. What a spot. And the pond is through there. Man, soaking this up for a second here. It's just perfect. Perfect. Now I'd like to try to have a closer look at that pond and whatever else I see on the way. Find our way over there. I haven't really been filming much of the journey. And then there's that big broken tree, and it's really open, like center screen right there. It's just wide open through there. So, big hill right here. Peak over here. This area, and yeah, see, we can see a little water. Oh man, absolutely love this. All right, so this way. Oh, big spider web. Another one. Sneak through here. Oh, there's a bit of a trail, so that's perfect. Looks like it goes up to the pond. You know I'm looking. From my experience, places that I believe the Sasquatch have been, I think they just avoid places that would leave obvious prints, at least in my experience. Not leaving me any really obvious ones, but doesn't mean that others haven't gotten them. Wow, it's all open there now. What a perfect day. Definitely lots of impressions. That's very, very foot shaped, but it's very worn. I'm sure there's people that have gone through here like me, but there's tons of impressions. Like that right there. Super, super. That's deep too. Let me step next to it. Whoa, that's interesting. So there's mine, and there's that. Now it could have been more wet, I guess. But it's about the size of my foot. Look at all these. A lot of human-shaped impressions, human foot shaped. All going this way, huh? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe people fishing. Just walking out there somewhere and casting a line. But might as well check out some more of this. It's gonna get, oh, yeah. It's getting a lot more wet here, so I'm gonna back up. But there it is. The good thing about here, I don't think we have to worry about alligators like where I just was. I just sank quite a bit more. Center screen, that's my footprint I just made, so. A little point of reference. I never want to poo-poo a footprint, but wow, look at this. There's the hill. Interesting sounding frog. Oh, cool. It's kind of like a little peninsula. Little cove here. Oh, yeah. This is what the doctor ordered right here. Man, look at this. This is, I think, where we're gonna sit for a moment. Right out here. Take a look at the pond. Pretty small. I might just see if I can go around it. It's not very big. Pretty reflections there, huh? Wow. This is just perfect. It's kind of nice being able to go here and not feel like there's possibly an alligator right in there. Got used to that when I was in Florida. There's the cove. I don't think it has a lot of water flow. You can see that sediment on top. Might as well just sit and listen for a minute. Something just jumped over there. I think that was probably a fish. Man, I've done a lot of exploring over the last period of time and found a lot of really cool spots in a number of different states too. Like I'm sitting here thinking, man, I just found myself a new favorite spot, but there's actually quite a few. Interesting, right up the hill from the lake, some dead fish. pile of them. Look at that. Bunch of dead fish sitting there. Some there. One there. Huh. They don't stink too bad either. Probably not too old, huh? Any ideas on the cause of that? All right, now I'm just lapping the pond. It's a big hill on this side too. Both sides have hills. Pretty cool. Pretty steep. Hey, Froggy. Oh, you heard me? It's pretty cool little trail here. There's a frog over there. Oh, that one stopped too. Got a fallen tree, and then there's a bit of an arch right there, and then there's a broken limb. Just kind of hung up right there. And there's the pond. Broken limb from this side. Just kind of hanging here under that. There's the arch. We're a good ways around, and it kind of opens up here. Trail kind of along the pond. That is pretty cool. Little bit less rugged. Which way to go? I think straight. Yeah. Look at that. Interesting. Got a huge tree there. Broke it sometime. So here's the back side. This is nice over here. You can't even see the sediment and stuff really. Just like a postcard. This would probably be an interesting place to hang out after dark, huh? Just listen. All right. Let's take a peek at these. It's like this arch. Look at that. That is amazing. And then right up here, it's a beautiful arch right here. So pretty cool up here. Said I'd take a little detour. Look at that. barely see it probably. Oh, ooh, look at all this. Oh. Okay. Oh, wow. Kind of a ridge up here. I'm just gonna take this ridge back and hopefully I can avoid this big hill that I went down. Hopefully that was the last hill I gotta do. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. Got a beautiful arch, a beautiful baby break. Look at that. Wow, look at all this going on here. So what do you think? Some of that does look sod. But that arch is definitely interesting, and this break is too. Look at that little piece kind of hung up there in the middle. I don't know if that's sod, is it? Maybe it is, but just figured I'd chill here for a minute, take a break after that hill. Beautiful day. Look at that. Just seems like a nice spot to chill for a minute. Nice vantage point from here. It's a holler, I guess you call it, down there. And the pond is actually through all that. Just took my little break. Look at this. Look at that. That's got like the bark peeled off of it. Wow. That is amazing. Look at this area here. Look how thick it is. Look at that. Wow. Whole bunch of stuff going on here. And there's back where I just came from. Okay. That's kind of interesting. Looks like it's been there a while with all those vines. Well, I don't see a trail staying up high, so I might have to go back downhill and back up a steep hill again. That's all right. I'm trying to get some cardio anyways. I hit the gym today, eating better and stuff like that. So there's down. The pond is, this is downhill, and the pond is like center screen through all that brush. Look at this. Right in the middle of this tree. that's been watching me for a while, my videos for a little while, knows about the owls. I think I just saw one. I'm facing it. It's a little ways away, but if you look, let me try to line this up. That tree center screen, it's like behind that. So we'll see. I can't believe I just saw another owl in the daylight. Oh. Wow, it just went. It's still there. It just flew. See if it makes a sound. It's probably just hunting. And there's this thick, I don't know what. There looks like an arch through there. All kinds of interesting stuff going on there. There's an owl about center screen right there. I'll keep it running. I'd love to cap the day off with a beautiful owl vocal. I think I'm getting pretty close to it now. I don't imagine it's just gonna sit there, but it's about center screen, around there somewhere. Hope I don't screw up its hunt. It's a bit of an arch right here, look at that. Huge tree down there. Look at this. That's a really cool little arch with a like a little limb kind of holding it down, I guess. I think the owl is center screen-ish up in that area, if it's still there. I think that's where I at least saw it land. I'd love to hear you, Mr. or Mrs. Owl. But I have heard so many of you guys that I don't want to be greedy. I've gotten a lot of gifts from you, and look at all that. Yeah. I think that's where I saw it land previously, but I can't see it now. Kind of interesting looking little sort of structure looking root and limb without bark. And definitely interesting looking here. All this going on, and that's where I think the owl was. Up there somewhere. See you, owl. I've recorded so many owls though. That's pretty cool. Another beautiful break right there. I guess you could say that the big tree fell and broke that. And there's an amazing arch right there. Definitely no big tree did that. Wow. Got it from here. Wow. Just about back to the trail. Look at that. Nice. So, I want to get back to my campsite and stuff at a decent time when I still have sunlight, but man, it's just so nice out in nature when the sun starts going down. Just want to stay here. It's just perfect. Had a lot of nights like this in Florida where it just got perfect when I had to leave. It's all good though. Tree kind of, like a limb kind of hung up there. Pretty cool. Here's a back. That's where I came from. Really thick center screen there and all through there. Really thick. On my way back, I had to get that little arch right there. Before I 3-4 feet tall.